A nun run is not a 5K. I thought it was, but it's not.
Do you run in your habit?
Yes, not in public, but
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. My name is Sister Mary Theresa. So I am from Kansas City.
Okay.
After I graduated high school in 2013, I went to Fort Hays State University.
Okay.
It's like,
go Tigers.
yes, yes. And I went there for 2 years.
Okay.
And then entered the convent at age 20.
Okay.
So I'm now 25. I've been in the convent for 5 years.
So that leads me to my next question. How did you
Yes.
find the IHMs?
Oh, good question. Yes, because I definitely, obviously I'm from Kansas City, so I
Right.
didn't grow up with them in high school.
This beautiful in our backyard, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went to Fort Hays though, and Sister Marie Theresa, our vocations directress, would go and visit. But my really encounter with the sisters was when I ended up in Wichita the summer before my sophomore year of college. I was doing an internship with Justice for All, which is a pro-life organization. I think it was founded in Wichita.
Okay.
They teach people how to dialogue with others about abortion.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful cause. And I went to daily mass at a different church every day
Okay.
with one of the missionaries. And the last day that I was here, I went to St. Joseph's Parish, which was where the sisters were at the time before we moved here. And, I walked in and, I was not happy to be called to religious life initially because I didn't see it as a good thing. And so I was very afraid, especially when I felt drawn to the sisters in St. Joseph's Church. I don't know if you've ever heard of the phrase, run to Jesus, and whoever is running next to you is maybe someone important.
I have heard that.
So I remember going up to communion at that mass.
Did you have
and
sisters flanking you?
Well, there was one on this side.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, if I trip myself and break my ankle, then it doesn't count. I'm not running to Jesus with a sister next to me. Not that. But then she would have to help me up. And I don't want a sister to help me up. So after that, I really felt called to continue to visit and things like that. So I did that my sophomore year. I did not grow up thinking I want to be a sister.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a ballerina.
Okay.
And so I pursued that with my whole being. And since I'm from Kansas City, I was trained at Kansas City Ballet School.
Oh,
And so
wow.
I was doing that all through high school and dancing with the company and the Nutcracker and loved it. And then it was all of a sudden, it wasn't everything that I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And the worldliness of it really hurt me over time. And so I quit. I thought, why am I quitting? But I'm quitting. I have to. I can't keep doing this. So I went to college and I thought maybe I'll just go into education. And so I started doing that. But it was 2 weeks after I had been in college. I was a baby 18-year-old freshman.
Yeah.
And Jesus starts calling me to religious life. But he was persistent and so basically my freshman and sophomore year, it was really, in my opinion, it was very fast, but it needed to be. Because he needed to get me here to show me the truth of religious life.
Yeah.
And I think that is, unfortunately, we have so many misconceptions about what it is now, but if people really knew the beauty of it, I don't think we would be so afraid of it. And that's why I was so afraid, because I didn't know the truth. It's this
I can
how
see
how do I find words? It's
I love it.
Jesus's heart for one soul. If we only knew how much love he had for just one. That's for every single person, but for those who are called to himself entirely, and just looking at one instance of that, and the more that you come to know that, the more you cannot say no. Even though it's scary at first, the more that the individual sees, I am made for this, and I'm made totally for him, it's just you can't
see yourself anywhere
say
else.
no.
Yeah, you can't see yourself anywhere else.
Right.
That's beautiful.
So yes,
That's amazing.
it's beautiful. Or when you enter the convent in our community, you're a postulant. Postulare is Latin and it means to ask. So the postulant is asking, is this God's will for me that I am here? That's for 6 months to a year. And you enter and you wear like a blue jumper and a white long sleeve shirt. It almost looks like a little school uniform.
Yeah.
And you got your ponytail and you go by your name. So like Sarah or whoever. And then you become a novice. And so you receive your sister name. So you start being called sister.
Yeah.
We all have some form of Mary in our name. So it's like Marie or Maria or Mary. So I received my name, Sister Mary Theresa, and you're a novice for 2 years. Oh, and you also receive a white veil.
Okay.
So white because that means new. So you're a new sister. You're learning how to be a sister because nobody grows up in a convent. So it's new for everyone.
Yes.
Which is beautiful though. That's part of the beauty of this life.
For sure.
You're learning how to be a sister, and then after 2 years of that, then you profess your first vows and you get the habit. So the habit.
We may have. Can you like stand? Would you mind?
Okay, I will stand up slowly. Okay, so there's lots of
different
pieces.
Parts. Yeah.
Okay, right. So there's, I don't know if you've heard of the scapular, like the brown scapular that
Yes.
you wear around your neck. So we have the full body scapular, and then a cincture. This is to show that we are bound to the vows that we have made to Jesus of chastity, poverty, and obedience. The rosary, we have a devotion to Our Lady of Sorrows. So this is the 7 Dolors Rosary or 7 Sorrows of Mary. So there are 7 beads instead of 10. The veil, so our veils are black because black means consecrated or set apart for God. And so just like a chalice, which is set apart solely for the precious blood of Christ, so we too are set apart. When you make your first profession of vows, you renew those vows annually for at least 3 years. So I made my first profession of vows in April of 2018. So I was just recently approved to profess final vows. So I will do that in August. For final vows, only a bishop can do that because it's a solemn consecration and only he has the power, the authority to do that. There are 28 sisters currently in our community. So we have 4 sisters on the east side and then 4 sisters in Hutchinson, 4 sisters in Pittsburgh, and then I think 16 here. Community life is always a blast. Just everything that you probably do with your family, we do too. Bonfires, games, I don't know.
I won some cool card games last time I was here.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Lots of fun. Just our generation does not understand the beauty, for the most part, of religious life. So if you're open to it, beautiful. And if you want to learn more, we have visits all the time. I mean, the convent is an open door. Well, obviously, like when you turn 18, you can have more overnight visits and things like that. But there are still lots of opportunities for girls to come in groups through their school or Little Flowers or, I mean, anything. I would also say if you're not open to it, that's okay too, because just even coming to know who sisters are, like whether you're called to it or not, is not going to hurt anyone. In fact, our sole mission is to lead as many souls as we can to Jesus, and so we're wanting to help anyone and everyone with that. Trust too in God's will, and in trusting God's will for you right now, which is going to school. I think a lot of times some young Catholic good men and women are so eager to do God's will and they just want to know it, and it's like, okay, just be at peace with where you are right now. Because he wants you to know his will. He's not trying to hide it from you. As long as you listen to him, as long as you're frequenting the sacraments, daily mass, confession, the rosary, he's not going to let you miss it because he wants you to do his will. So.